Hey folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to make a simple little necklace using some of the square beads from our Enchanted Forest SoftFlex design kit. I think this is going to be cute. We're also going to use the little silver dragonfly, this guy. He's going to be our pendant piece, of course, and some of the little butterflies. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. So I've got this little dish of goodies here, some SoftFlex white quartz. Now they gave us some dark blue lapis, but I didn't want to use it with all these greens and teals is what I used here. And then we've also got some nice silver chain. So I'm going to pour this out and I'm going to show you what we're going to do here. Of course, this guy is our focal. And he's going to have some of these little teal guys right beside him. Then I've also added some of these Austrian crystal butterflies. They're going to go right here on either side. Then we're going to have a small ball spacer and a large ball spacer. Then we'll go to our green cubes. We'll have the large ball spacer again, and then this small. Then we'll start in with the butterflies again, and then the teal cubes. And our spacers. But now instead of a green cube, we're going to use this oval table cut from out of the Jesse James kit. It'll go here. And then, of course, we're going to go back up our pattern here. Let's get our chain out of the way so we can do this easily. Little butterflies. Teal cube. And the little butterfly again. Now, since this is the top, as we come off of here, we're going to do something a little bit different. And that thing is, we're going to put in one of these butterflies, ceramic butterflies. And then we'll put in a ball spacer and this little bicone. From there, we'll go and we're just going to hook it on to some chain. And of course, this other side is going to emulate that one. Looks like I have an extra one of these. Where did I miss putting it at, or did I just miscount? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Now let's get the SoftFlex out and put this baby together now that we have her all put down the way we want her to be. So we'll get some SoftFlex out. I'm going to put a bead stopper on this one side so I don't have to worry about them sinking in so that I can't see what's going on with them. So we'll start on this side and we'll go with this bicone, one of the little ball spacers, our butterfly. Now we want to make sure that we have the butterfly facing the direct upwards as it would come around, because otherwise it's going to look a little funky that it's flying upside down. And I see where that little ball spacer that's sitting right there came from, right here. Now again, with these little butterflies, we want to make sure they're heading upwards. Now I did have two more of the green squares I could have used instead of this one, but I wanted to have a teeny bit of difference here. So that's why I went with that one. Really? She's all right. Oh, did I lose a ball spacer? I think oh, here it is. Now, depending on how long this ends up being when we get to this point, and depending on where it would sit on you, I may take this butterfly out, because if he's way up where he's going to be hidden on the side of your neck or towards the back, we don't want to sort of waste him by hiding him. So now you'll notice I turned the butterfly so it's now facing upwards from this side. Now, one thing I did contemplate was taking the butterfly, and instead of putting this here, we could put the butterfly here. But I'm not sure how that would look. But we can always check it and find out. But that would also make it shorter because I wouldn't want to put this bead in that case. So let's see how long we got this here. And it's about 6, so it'd be about 12 inches. I want it to be at least 18, so we'd want about, if it's 12, we'd want at least 6 inches of chain around the back, 3 for either side. Or, like I said, we could, let's see how that would look. Let's take this out here. And put our butterfly in here. Instead of this cube here. Let's see what we get. So we'll finish this side up here with the butterfly in the middle here, and we'll decide which side then we like better, the side with the table cut or the side with the butterfly. Now, since we have moved our butterfly down, we will not have it up here on this other side, obviously. So it will end up being a little shorter because it will have this particular bead out. But that's all right, we can do that. However, I am going to leave this bicone up here. I like the bicone up there. So, as you can see, though, it is quite a bit shorter having that there. So this one is about 5.5 on this side as we have it here, and this side, let's get my piece back on here, and this side was then let's get up here all the way, there we go, is now about 6.25. So if we do it this way, this is not a problem. I actually rather like it that way. Because the butterfly is going to stand out more being down here. The difference is, like I said, this one then will become obsolete. It'll get put back in the package because it isn't necessary anymore. And I think that that is what we will do. Now, if we wanted it to have some more space, we could take some of these little lavender bicones and add them back in here. But I think she looks good like this. So I think this is the way we're going to do it. So we'll cut this cord on this side here. And we're going to then remove it from here. take this baby out. It's no longer needed. Now we're going to put our butterfly right here. And then proceed up the row like we had before. So now we have got our two sides finished, and we just have to decide on our final length and crimp these up, put them on the chain. Now you can crimp it directly to the chain, or you can use a jump ring. I think I'm probably going to decide how long I want it and crimp it directly to the chain. So we need a few crimps out. Well, we only needed 2. Okay, we'll get the ruler back out and give it a little bit of decision on how long we want it for sure. And is about 5.5. That means this is 11 inches. If we want it to be about 20 inches, we're probably going to want about, well, we probably want about 4 to 4.5 inches of chain. The lobster claw is going to give us some space to at the end. So let's see if, and this lobster claw will go in this chain if we want to just give one side have a little extra. So we want about 4.5 to 5 inches of chain for either side. So we want to get that cut. Now, I believe I said this was 5.5 and it would go, so it would be 11. Yes, 11. And so to get 21 or 20, we want 19 inches, or 9 inches. So we'll just cut 9 inches of chain here. Put this chain aside, but then what we need to do is take our length of chain we just cut, and I'm going to put my awl through the top 2 loops, the bottom and top. Then we're going to slide our fingers down like so till we get to the end. And this is an even length, it looks like, so we'll just cut whichever we want to. It doesn't matter which one, because one will be one link bigger no matter which way we go here. Or we can cut 2 links off so that they're entirely even. That's a matter of preference. To me, it doesn't really matter a lot because we're going to put a lobster claw on one side anyway, so it's going to change the length of what you had. Oops. So I'll show you what I mean by now. One is going to be 1 link longer. See right there? 1 link. So we're going to crimp these guys on. We got our crimp tubes there, so we'll just grab one side here and put a crimp tube on. And we'll put a piece of chain on here. Go through our crimp tube and anything else we want to go through right now. It doesn't matter if we want a lot of stuff through or just a little bit. Because if it goes through, that's great. If it doesn't, then we can just trim it off right here at this point. But everything's going through great. So now we need to push this down just a little bit so we can get our crimping pliers in here. They have a little divot in them. You put the tube right inside the divot and squish, and then turn it and squish again and again and again till it's not squishing anymore. Test it. Looks great. So we'll push these up. Come on, you. Oh, it's you that's being difficult. There we go. And I'm going to cut this last little tiny bit off. And push the rest of the beads down that way. And now we're got this side on its chain, and we just need to put this side on. So we'll take this out, put our crimp tube on, put our chain through, now we're going to again go through these things, but this time we have to be a little more careful about where we are because we're going to have a big gap otherwise. So we're going to go through these things. Come on, go through the ball spacer. Ball spacer's a little tight. Strange. Usually those things are pretty loose, but that's all right. Come on, you. We want our crimp up higher, but that's not the issue spot anyway. The issue spot is that little ball spacer is tight, so we need to push these down some so we can tighten this up. Now we want to sort of compare because we want it to be similar. This one needs to be a little smaller of a loop. push these guys down. I think that's probably good. Now we need to get our crimping pliers in, get that little crimp into the divot. And squeeze. Turn, squeeze, turn, squeeze. And test. Now we're going to cut this extra line off right here. And we now have our chain put onto our necklace. So there she sits. Now our last step is to put on our lobster claw and a jump ring for it to grab into. Now, as I stated, the lobster claw will go into this chain, so we could just use it like that. But we are going to do our normal jump ring and on the end. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and see if I can figure out which one of these was longer. Looks like it's this one. So this one I'm just going to put the jump ring on. Or if you're really worried about it, you could always, since I usually put the lobster claw on this side, I am going to put this on this side I normally put it on, because this is the front of our dragonfly, and what I'm going to do is just cut that extra link off the other side so that they're the same. If I had paid attention, I could have put the longer one on this side and then I wouldn't have needed to cut anything, but I am going to cut this extra link off this side. What did you do here? You're cut, so why are you not coming loose? Now you're cut again. Okay, now we'll put the lobster claw on. And we're done. So very simple but very cute little necklace using our SoftFlex Design Challenge Kit, Enchanted Forest. I think it turned out very cute. I like the butterflies in here, I think, better than up there where I originally had them put. Now, even though we have finished the necklace, we could make some similar earrings to match because I have 2 of these green cubes left. So what I'm thinking of is maybe just this section here. So we'd have to put a little something above the butterflies so that he his little wings don't get crunched as you bring them together. So let's see what we decide to do here. I have a couple of little butterflies. I would use the bigger ones for the ear, like this for the earrings, but I only have 1 left of my butterflies, so that won't work. So I'm thinking we will get some of these out. Bing. We need that bigger one. because we'll be using ball head pins, we shouldn't need another ball, but we might, and if we do, we'll get one. Could incorporate this bicone if we wish to, but it wouldn't match, but we'll see. So I got some of these, so that would go here, of course. And then another little ball spacer. I think we do need the little pink bicones, or the pinky colored lavender, whatever you want to call them, bicones. I think that would be better. Let's get a tray out so I can dump some of this to find those. There's one, and there's a second. Now this is right here, and then this of course would be, if I changed this to the pinky bicone, would be this spot up here, and we could actually leave this guy out if we wanted to. Or we could put this little guy down below, though it wouldn't have the bigger one down there, but that would be all right, I think. Well, let's get some head pins out and see how that looks. Okay, so I've got a couple of head pins out. So let's straighten these a little bit. We'll feed these guys onto here and see what we think. Not sure it doesn't need the bigger one here too. Let's just, I'll have to get another couple out if I decide to go that route, but let's see what it looks like. Come on, you go in there. Yeah, I think I like that. So we'll get a couple more of these corrugated spacers out, and we'll put this baby together. So there we go. We have some more of the corrugated spacers. We'll get this green one off here and start putting this one together. Now that I've got that done, it's time to do their wraps and then put them on some ear wires. Now I've got this tipped a little bit, so I'm going to bring it back in place. There we go. And now we're going to wrap this one. Come on, baby, tuck up there. There we go. Now we need to put them on some ear wires, and these will be finished. And we'll have a necklace with earrings to match. Make sure they match, because I think I have two styles in here. I always test them to make sure that their springs are working good. And then we'll get a couple of little tinky tots to attach these to their ear wires. Oops, only two. So you want to open these with a little slight twisting motion and then go through your loop here and your ear wire. Now these have no particular front or back because the beads will all turn, so you can just put it on without worrying about having to watch that. Now that didn't close all the way, it's just a little bit open, so I'm going to wiggle it with a little forward motion until I feel it scrape together there. There we go. So there's earring number one. And earring number two. So there is our set. As you can see, this piece, the earring matches this piece right here at the top. So there is our necklace and our earrings to match. And again, these are using the SoftFlex Design Challenge Kit Enchanted Forest to make these little beauties. So there we have it. There is our little necklace with our butterflies in the middle here and our dragonfly at the bottom. And then we have the earrings to match. This spot right here. So I think that's a very pretty little set. I hope you enjoyed making these with me. As I said, we made these with the SoftFlex Design Challenge Kit, Enchanted Forest, and I think they turned out lovely. I hope you enjoyed making these with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.